In the morning. Da sind wir jetzt wieder beim Lake. Aber Cinders ist nicht hier, oder? Nee. Ay, what a night. Maybe boss was right when he said not to drink away my pay in one go. Still can't say it wasn't worth it for how great last night was. Wait, what exactly happened last night? How'd I even wind up here? The deer went this way, my lord. Ja, oder was spricht da? Oh, someone's coming. Better lay low for a mite. Perrault. Oh, hurry before it gets away. Ach ja, stimmt, die wollten ja morgens jetzt hier irgendwie jagen gehen. Forget the deer, Captain. There are more important matters at hand. If this is about what you asked yesterday, my lord, I know little of politics or the affairs of the court. That's exactly why I need you. You're straightforward and honest, and you see things I can't. Behind all those smiles everyone in the court lies to me. No, you're the only man I can trust. I will serve you to the best of my ability. What is it that you wish to discuss? It's about my father's last wish. I must have a wife before I ascend the throne. How am I to choose one? There is a ball in a few days. Isn't that your chance to find an eligible young lady? In theory, but that's the problem. How will I be able to tell? The monarchy is weak without a king, and the nobles around me are plotting to advance themselves. They groom their daughters like prized spaniels in the hopes that I'll be taken in by a pretty face. I need a wife who is strong and smart, someone who can rule the kingdom wisely, not feed me her father's poisonous words. But I doubt that I ever find such a woman. I've no doubt many such women exist, my lord. You should not give up so easily. You're right, Captain. It's just that I haven't had the fortune to meet one yet. I'm surrounded by women who know little more than how to curtsy. And they do little more than wait to be handed out as political tokens. Truly, it is disheartening. And yes, you must choose a wife from among the nobility regardless. It is, after all, tradition. As if tradition mattered to that brood of vipers, they plot to control the throne before it is even in my grasp. If I marry to please a powerful house, I risk having a fool for a wife, but what other choice do I have? If you respected the traditions to the fullest, you'd be able to choose any woman at the ball, even someone you didn't know. How convenient that this rule is often forgotten. Someone I didn't know. Captain, you're brilliant. It's perfect. I'm not sure I follow your thinking, my lord. A masquerade ball, I'll be able to choose from the women without discriminating over looks or political ties. They've been pushing me to follow tradition for so long, they can't complain if I remember the old rules. Captain, you truly are a remarkable man. I see now why father trusted you so much. Of course, my lord. Well, it's always an honor to be of service. Thank you so much, my friend. You are a rare breed indeed, still faithful to your ideals. Ideals or not, our prey has long since escaped us, and if we linger any longer, people might grow suspicious. You're right, my friend. Let us return to the castle with all haste. Now that I have a solution in mind, I can return with a light heart. Und der hat alles mitbekommen, der Arsch, ne? Well, that's a bit of juicy gossip you don't hear every day. A masquerade ball, huh? I know a certain lady who would pay handsomely for this information that she would. Ja, jetzt wird er nämlich hier zu der ollen Mutter gehen, die dann wiederum ihre Stiefschwestern, also die beiden Tussenstiefschwestern, ja, die Stieftöchter wollte ich eigentlich sagen, die wird sie dann da wahrscheinlich hinbringen. In der Hoffnung, dass sie irgendwie an einen reichen Typen verheiraten kann. The day may have started lousy after all of last night's drinking, but it's turned out to be quite a good one after all. Well, thanks to a few extra rounds at the pub, you can't go wrong with that. Fühlt er sich auch noch bestätigt darin, dass es gut war, sich zu betrinken. Ey, ich glaub's ja nicht. Ja, jetzt bin ich ja mal gespannt. Aber irgendwie, also wenn man der klassischen Cinderella-Story Glauben schenken darf, müsste es Cinders ja dann auch irgendwie auf diesen Maskenball schaffen, ne? What time is it? The sun is already so high in the sky. I must have slept in. Considering how long I spent outside last night, that's hardly a surprise. I'm still not sure what to think about what happened. I want to trust Tobias, but... well, at least it's something different from the usual. It's strange how my life has been so boring all this time, then suddenly all these things are happening to me. But even stranger than that, I wonder why no one has come to wake me up yet. It must be at least noon, if not later. Surely Camosa hasn't decided to be gracious and grant me a holiday. I want none of your pitiful excuses. Uh-oh, Camosa's definitely not in a gracious mood. I should get going and see what's going on before she catches me like this. Okay, warum rastet sie gerade so aus? Hat sie die Information jetzt schon erhalten mit dem Ball? Everyone is here. You're an even bigger disappointment than usual. Looks like Camosa's mad at Gloria today. I wonder why. Hey, Sophia. Cinders, not so loud. I don't want to get in trouble or miss any of this. Ey, das ist so krass. Ey, hier gönnt sich echt keiner irgendwas, oder? Sie genießt das jetzt ernsthaft, dass ihre Schwester jetzt zur Sau gemacht wird? Wahnsinn. But what's going on? Business as usual. Mother's in a bad mood and Gloria was the nearest thing she could yell at. I'm not interested in your excuses. It's your duty to make sure there's enough wood for the fireplace. But if the servant is allegedly ill, then find someone else. Do it yourself if you have to. I'm sorry, Mother. I understand. If you truly understood, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. But I am wasting my breath. I can only hope that you've learned your lesson and this won't happen again. It seems I can trust you girls with even the smallest tasks. I wish that one of you would finally take charge of things. Yes, Mother. Well, don't just say yes. Prove your worth by taking action. Make sure dinner is ready in 2 hours. I expect the wood to be chopped by then as well. Don't worry, Mother. I will. Cinders, Sophia, why were you two wasting your time eavesdropping instead of being useful? Ey, wie sie gleich wieder hier am Rumkacken ist, ey, Entschuldigung. It's not a waste to watch the mighty, all-knowing Gloria get scolded by Mom. Wird sie nicht so glücklich drüber sein. Oh, what's this? You usually have such a sharp reply, but now you can't think of anything to say? Whatever happened to the perfect, glorious, outspoken Gloria? One scolding from Mom is all it takes to shut you up? Ist das gemein. I don't have time to deal with your childish jealousy right now, but watch your tongue. Die wird uns jetzt bestimmt rausschicken, um Holz zu sammeln, oder? It will certainly get you in trouble someday. Anyway, you two heard, Mother. Dinner must be ready in 2 hours, so get started. What? Why do we have to get dinner ready? Because I'll be busy taking care of Mother's other needs, like getting the wood chopped. If you'd rather not, I can always tell Mother you refuse to obey her orders. Fine, I'll do it. Just pray that your food isn't poisoned. Ja, wundert mich echt, dass die sich noch nicht gegenseitig hier vergiftet haben. As if you have the guts to do such a thing, little sister. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have duties to attend to. Well, it looks like I'm stuck working with you, Cinders. Ja, vielleicht ist das aber eine gute Möglichkeit, dass die mal ein bisschen quatschen und sich vielleicht auch mal vertragen oder so. What should I say to Sophia? Also ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, sie wird einen guten Grund haben. Ich glaube nämlich schon, dass Gloria ziemlich kacke ist. Ich versuche mich mal mit ihr zu verbünden und ja, stimme ihr mal zu, dass es gut war, was sie gemacht hat. Wow, you really told her off. Nicely done. Of course I did. It's nice to see Gloria get a taste of her own poison once in a while. It's even nicer to see her at a loss for words. Yeah, you really hate her, don't you? I never thought about it before, but I guess I do. Gloria was always cruel to me. She keeps trying to be like Mom, and she thinks Mom will acknowledge her if she keeps putting me down. Well, things haven't been as bad ever since you came along. You're getting the brunt of it now. But yes, I hate her. I didn't always hate her, but I definitely do now. At least she got her due this time. She might be Camosa's favorite, but we're the ones on top for now. True, but I don't feel that great about it. Well, that's not important. If we don't finish dinner on time, we won't be on top for much longer. Ja, da hat sie wohl recht. Oh, ist jetzt bei uns im Zimmer oder was? It will be nice having someone helping me with dinner for once. Hurry up and take out all the ingredients we're going to need. Why me? Isn't it obvious? I hardly step foot in the place, so naturally I don't know where anything is. Können wir doch zu zweit machen. Naturally, that doesn't mean you can't help with the preparation, though. I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? There's no way you can prepare dinner in 2 hours alone. Ja, gut erkannt. I'll be in just as much trouble as you if it's not done. Mother isn't forgiving towards anyone. I figured that much out myself. Now, here are all the ingredients. Ich dachte, die müssen wir erstmal sammeln. Yuck, the stench is unbelievable. Are they rotting or something? No, this is just how vegetables smell. They do grow in the soil, you know. Sure, but I can't believe you actually live with this odor. I bet sometimes you must feel like a rather large carrot yourself. Or beetroot, maybe. Oh Gott. Hey, die ist echt ein bisschen fernab von irgendwelchen... Also, ganz ehrlich, ich bin auch kein Profi, was jetzt so Gemüsezeug und Kochen und sowas alles angeht. Aber, also man merkt auch schon aus den Dialogen, dass die wirklich noch nie hier irgendwie wirklich einen Finger krumm machen mussten für irgendwas, habe ich das Gefühl. That's very funny, Sophia. Besides, it wasn't exactly my own choice to move in here. I used to have a proper bedroom before Gloria took it. Of course, how could I forget? Still, you should be grateful. They say that harsh conditions help to build character. Warum nimmst du dir daran kein Beispiel? You're bound to become a diamond here, while poor Gloria softens with every passing hour. Can't you give me a break for once? If that's how it's going to look, I prefer to risk Camosa's anger and prepare the dinner alone. Jetzt hat sie es ja aber gegeben. Oh, fine, don't be so uptight, sis. One Gloria in this house is one too many. So, what was it like before we moved in with you anyway? Also mein Ziel ist ja jetzt, mich so ein bisschen ihr auch anzunähern. Deswegen erzählen wir ihr das einfach mal. Ich will da jetzt keine großartigen Geheimnisse draus machen. Do you really want to know? Of course, we've got to talk about something or else it will be awfully dull in here. You can't just admit that you're actually interested in my life. Well, if you must know, the moment we started talking, I decided it's better to imagine you're a character from some bad romance novel. It's much less personal like that. You're such a darling sometimes. I know, right? I may not be the worst or best in the family, but you can't accuse me of lacking creativity. But let's go back to that book you're in. Well, life was different when father was still alive, more carefree, although I suppose that's how childhood is. Father had a way with kids. I think he was rather a big child himself, always dreaming. I loved it back then. I see. And how do you feel about it now? Also ich würde mal sagen, es war super, oder? Also wie sie bisher über ihren Vater gesprochen hat, habe ich nicht das Gefühl, dass sie das irgendwie gestört hat. Deswegen, ja, bewerten wir das mal positiv. It was fantastic. I loved it all so much. Everything was so magical. He tried very hard to keep the worries of life away from me. It was like living in a fairy tale. Demons, I used to wonder what having a proper father would be like, but I think I'm all cured now. It sounds like keeping in touch with reality wasn't exactly his forte. That may be, but I was just a kid with a happy childhood. There are some dreams you just don't want to wake up from. What about your mother? Do you remember her? Unfortunately, she passed away giving birth to me. I still feel guilty about it, even though I know it doesn't make any sense. Father told me a lot about her, but I don't really know if that's how she was or just an idealizing image. Either way, I know that her death had a huge impact on him. I think he was very lonely. Perhaps that's why he preferred to get lost in his dreams rather than face real life. I'm sure, achso, das ist wieder Sophia. I'm sure it got even worse after we came into your life, huh? Oh Gott, fängt sie jetzt an, Mitleid zu entwickeln? This onion is making my eyes wet. Kannst du mal sehen. Give that to me, I'll chop it. If you rinse the knife first, it shouldn't sting that much. As for you, I'd say my life was definitely different after you came in. Oh, just be honest. I know your life has been miserable ever since your father married our lovely mother. Trust me, it's not like Gloria and I wanted this either. And yet, here we are, one big happy family. You can be awfully cynical at times. Oh, you noticed? Ja, ist ja auch nicht schwer. Fine then, yes, my life got worse when you showed up. I'm a servant, no, a slave in my own house. Not like you'd understand. Yes, what could I possibly know about it, stupid onion? It sounds to me like it's your turn to talk about your life. Ja, das würde mich auch mal interessieren. Well, there's not much to say. That can't be true. It's obvious that a lot happened to you and Gloria. You wouldn't be like this otherwise. Besides, you said you wanted a conversation, so tell me about yourself. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. When we were children, we lived out in the countryside. Our house wasn't as nice as this one, though. Und trotzdem war eure Kindheit bestimmt cooler als so, wie es jetzt abläuft, wette ich. Mit euch, mit dir. Our father was a military man. He got himself killed in some war and that left mother a widow. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be, I hardly even saw the man. When he was around, he was like a complete stranger, not a proper father at all. His death meant nothing to us. What about Camosa? It must have affected her. Maybe that's why she's the way she is now. Was that supposed to be a joke? Mom didn't care about him any more than we did. Klingt ja nicht so nach trauter familiärer Gemeinschaft. Then why did she marry him? Well, why does anyone get married? Ja, auch wenn das jetzt ein bisschen altmodisch ist, aber der Liebe wegen. Aber in der Welt wird das wahrscheinlich ein bisschen anders laufen. How about that weird thing they call love? Or is that too obvious? The only thing that's obvious is how naive you are. Can you show me any actual loving marriage you've seen? I may be stupid, but I'm not dense enough to think that love is the driving force behind a marriage. Love is a luxury. Maybe a rich family like yours can afford it, but for the rest of us, it's a business transaction. Camosa comes from a poor family. They had a title of nobility, but they'd lost more of their riches and splendor. The only way for her to advance up the social ladder was to marry, and she was ambitious. She married an officer who was relatively rich and had a lot of accolades. She probably planned ahead even there. For all I know, she chose a man who would probably die in battle, so that she could marry even higher later. Ah, genau, der Typus Frau, den gibt's vereinzelt auch bei uns in der real existierenden Welt immer noch, aber das ist natürlich echt so ein Paradebeispiel für, ja, parasitäre Drecksweiber, wenn ich das jetzt mal so umreißen darf. How can you say that? That's such a cruel assumption. Cruel? It's not like she killed him. He would have died anyway. She just wanted something more out of life. It's still a cold thing to do. Cold? Sure it's cold. It's business. I don't see what's wrong with it. Mother's not dumb. She did what she had to. Kein Wunder, dass diese Werte, die Mutti vertritt, ne, dass das die Töchter auch irgendwie adaptieren und wahrscheinlich genauso arschig werden in ihrer Zukunft. There's not much room in this world for women with ambitions, so you take what you can get. So back then, was your life as bad as it is now? Worse. What? How so? Well, you weren't around. Nee, Tatsache nicht. Listen, if you're not around, who do you think becomes the victim? Mother's always needed a scapegoat, and Gloria would do anything to please that woman. I'm not as pretty, smart, or ambitious as them, so naturally she humiliated me, and Mom didn't disapprove. And now that I'm here, they no longer target you. Is that it? That's exactly it. Mom and Gloria have a new scapegoat and my life is finally a little better. Ja, und das wird auf Cinders Rücken ausgetragen. Super. Oh, I see. So now that you're no longer tormented, you choose to torment me instead. Of course, nothing personal, but it's either me or you, and I certainly won't be a victim again. Wie sie das einfach so offen ausspricht in unsere Richtung. Die Frau hat echt überhaupt gar keine Scham, oder? Besides, you should be grateful. Didn't your father shield you from the real world too much? Well, now you get to see exactly what it's like. That's the way of all things. You're either the hunter or the prey. Hätten wir mal vorhin das andere beantwortet, ne, dass wir es nicht so toll gefunden haben, dass er da so in seiner Fantasiewelt und so lebt, dann hätte sie jetzt hier mit Sicherheit auch anders reagiert. And as long as Mother and Gloria focus on you, I can go back to being my own worthless self. Aber gleichzeitig degradiert sie sich selbst, ey, Wahnsinn. You are so cruel. You are not worthless. Ja, ich versuche jetzt halt irgendwie an das Gute in ihr zu appellieren, insofern denn noch irgendwas Gutes in ihr drin steckt. Deswegen mache ich ihr mal ein Kompliment und versuche sie mal aufzubauen. Just listen to yourself. You're not worthless, ugly, stupid or even cruel. My, and what has made you an expert all of a sudden? That's ridiculous. It's obvious the person you hate the most is yourself, but you have no reason to. So you make up all these excuses, like you're too stupid or ugly or worthless, when you know it's not true, but it's still an easy way out, isn't it? You prefer to convince yourself you're nothing, so that nobody will expect anything more from you. You don't have to change or do anything if you're worthless after all. Warte mal kurz. Ach, mein Telefon klingelt. Ich dachte gerade, hier kommt jetzt irgendwas aus dem Spiel. Für euch wird das hoffentlich nicht zu hören sein. And you sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you're all-knowing. You're not worthless, Sophia. You know that. It's almost endearing how hard you try to see good in other people, but you're just being naive. Es war wieder so klar, dass sie das nicht einfach mal dankbar annehmen kann, dass wir versuchen, ihr die Hand zu reichen. It's not naive at all. I was paying attention when you were talking, and I learned something important. You think you're worthless because you can't measure up to Carmosa or Gloria, but it's the opposite. Carmosa is a woman of strong influence. It's easy to get drawn in and conform to what she wants. The fact that you've resisted means that you're stronger than Gloria. It means you're stronger than Carmosa. I'm sorry you had to suffer for it, but that makes you even more admirable. Jetzt trägt sie aber schon ganz schön dick auf, oder? Jetzt müsste sie sich eigentlich mal ein Tränchen abdrücken und uns mal in den Arm nehmen für all die lieben Worte, die sie eigentlich gar nicht verdient hat. You really had it rough, and I know that left a mark on you, but it doesn't make you worthless. You know, I don't need your pity. Trust me, that's the last thing on my mind. You've still been absolutely horrid to me. But now that I know what happened to you, well, I just wish that you knew better. I've had enough of this. I've done enough work. You can handle the rest of the dinner, can't you? Well, you don't really have a choice. I'm leaving. Krass. Maximal undankbar, die Frau. Fine, have it your way. For a girl who wastes her life away in the kitchen dreaming of better days, you sure can be self-righteous. And for a girl so cynical and angry with the world, you look a lot like a self-made victim. Yeah. Then I suppose that entire conversation between us was pointless. Good luck with the dinner. What is wrong with her? I can't believe we actually had that conversation. That was definitely unexpected. I think I need some time to think it over. The meal is nearly done anyway. All that's left is to get one of the servants to cook the rest right before it is served. I really need to get out and gather my thoughts. Everyone is busy, so I am sure no one will notice if I sneak out. Ja, oh. Das kurz vor deinem Ziel. The main hallway is empty, no surprise there. As I thought, everyone is busy right now. Sehr gut. I don't have much time before dinner, but I'm sure I could sneak out and be back in time. All that talk about my mother reminded me that I haven't been to her grave in a long time. It might be dangerous to sneak out during the day, but I don't know if I get another chance. I just have to move as quickly as I can. Okay. So, und jetzt können wir hier wahrscheinlich auch weiterreisen, ne? Town, alles andere ist irgendwie ausgegraut. So, ihr Lieben, ich werde jetzt hier mal den ersten Cut setzen und euch wird wahrscheinlich schon aufgefallen sein, dass ich das in dieser Aufnahme ein bisschen anders handeln werde, denn ich möchte hier wirklich nicht auf die Zeit gucken, weil das mache ich auch, wenn ich ein Buch lese, nicht, und ich hoffe, dass ihr mir das nachseht, dass ich jetzt hier die Cuts etwas unsauberer setze, als man das aus den anderen Projekten kennt, und werde auch beim nächsten Mal wieder ein bisschen am Stück aufnehmen, vielleicht auch ein paar Stunden am Stück, wer weiß. Ich danke euch bis hierhin auf jeden Fall fürs Einschalten und würde mich sehr freuen, wenn ihr auch beim nächsten Mal wieder mit dabei seid. Macht's gut und bis dahin. Ciao!